Welcome back. It's your host, Richie Rich, and my right-hand man, Down Payment Dillan. You're now tuned into Sold in 60, which is the one and only timeshare podcast in the world. And today we tapping in.
We tapping in, man. We got a special guest in the building today. Heavy hit in the game. Gino, what's good, man?
How you doing, man? Good. Always good. Can't complain.
Yeah, appreciate you
Every
coming
day
through.
above ground is a great day. So.
For sure. I like that, man. So before we get into it, shout out to our viewers, everybody watching us on Spotify, Instagram, Fire Stick, Amazon Prime, all of that. Let's get right into the topics, man. Today we're going to be talking about how to get on the special teams at your timeshare resort.
Okay.
And if those special teams give that sales rep an advantage over other reps in the game. Okay. Another topic we're going to be talking about is owners that ask for the unthinkable. And in my opinion, is the best way to buy timeshare if I was a buyer. The third topic is going to be, why does the maintenance and taxes always go up and continue to go up, right? We're going to get into that.
Okay.
Fourth topic is going to be, what is ARDA and what do they do? Right, so I know my man Richard definitely got some information for you guys when it comes to ARDA. Fifth topic is going to be about RCI and how RCI is celebrating their 50th year anniversary. Okay. Sixth topic and our last topic of the day is going to be how the Mexican drug cartel made $40 million in the timeshare resale industry.
Wow.
What you think about that?
Chapo.
It's big money.
I need to hear about that.
Yeah. We're going to get into that. But before we get into that, man, let's learn a little bit more about our guest, Gino.
G, what's up, man? Tell us about yourself, brother.
Well, I'm originally from New York, Staten Island, New York. Moved down here about 2-3 years ago. Jumped right into timeshare. Came down here on a U-Haul and started like next week type thing.
Dang.
Just went on the sales floor, started crushing it, enjoyed the experience, realized what I was really getting into, and now I just can't get enough of it. So
That's what's up.
For sure. So you already knew about timeshare as you were driving down here to Florida.
Yeah. One, like 2 or 3 of my homeboys moved down here like 4 or 5 years prior to me, and was trying to convince me to do it for a while. And was like, "It's money over here. You can make a lot of good money." And they showed me a paycheck, and I said, "I'm getting a U-Haul. I'm going over there."
Yo, whenever somebody showed you a paycheck, that's when you know it's real.
Yeah,
Like,
That's all
exactly.
it takes.
let me see that ADP.
Yep, exactly.
For sure. That story is kind of similar to Rich. Rich, that's how you came down here too. You was in New York. A buddy of yours told you, "Hey man, you got to get down here." He told you the type of money that you could make, and you was on a first trip down here, man.
Yeah, there's a thing called the what's that thing called? The auto train. You could it leaves out of Lawton, Virginia.
Yeah.
I packed my car up. I had a Camry at the time. Packed that car up, and I drove right down, and I went straight into a real estate class.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for sure. So somebody told you about it. They was already down here. So how did you get the license? You did it?
So I did it kind of, I would say like a summer before I actually moved here. So I moved here in October. That summer I came just to visit the friend, and he had his real estate license. I came and seen his house. He had a BMW, and he was delivering pizza like me. So I was like, "Bro, how did you do all this?" He's like, "Yo, timeshare, man." And then I did the real estate class, the 40-hour class. And then I was going back and forth about not really doing it, then doing it, kind of procrastinating it. And he sent me the check, and I was like, "Bro, all right, I'm going.
Yeah.
All right, I'm already halfway there, so I might as well just cross the finish line." So.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's something, for me personally, it's something about when somebody reach out to somebody from New York about timeshare, I just feel like it's a thing. I feel like anybody that comes from the city is going to make it in the game, only because that drive, you have to be a hustler. I feel you have to be a hustler or have a drive of, I don't know, enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people that come from the city have it. So I always get excited when I hear people that come down from another city, not just New York, but, Jersey, Philly, like those environments just bring a certain type of energy.
Very true. I agree. Because when I first hit the sales floor, no one kind of understood, like, why you so amped up, man? You're so hyped every single time. I'm like, I'm ready to get it, man. It's showtime, baby.
Yeah.
So just be excited about that.
Out of the people that was in your training class, are you the only one left? Or
you're
the only one left?
Yep, the only one left, yep.
Okay. Out of how many people you think was in
like
your class?
14 of us.
Okay. Okay.
I'm legit the only one left.
It'd be like that. You was probably the last one in your class too.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm the last of my class. That's crazy. I feel like every class brings out one superstar. You know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you never know who it is, who it's gonna be, right? Some people you think that's gonna pop, they end up flopping, and then the people you think not gonna make it, they end up staying long. You know, it's like, damn, he's still here. You know, after all this time.
Yeah, I feel like I no longer make an assumption on who I think is gonna make it, because the people that I thought was gonna do it, that's gonna make it, they didn't make it. You know, and the people that you sleep, sometimes you be like, this cat was not gonna get it. They get it. Yeah. Because book smarts and street smarts, two different things, right? There's people that be book smart, they can get through training, know everything, but on the floor they just ain't got it. Yeah. And sometimes you got that person that be failing that class, but put them in front of a family.
That was me. I was feeling like crazy.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't no longer. I no longer even judge or try to predict who's gonna pop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
how long did it take for you to catch on to where it was like, okay, I know what's going on now?
I would say after like second or third tour.
Oh,
I started
really?
Realizing.
All right.
Oh, damn.
You know, like this is because during training it's a little nerve wracking getting all the information in and learning something new, not really being familiar with vacationing at all, to just a brand new world. And then once I hit my third tour, it started to click. Like it's just kind of me, you know. It's not really the product is gonna sell because it's a great product, right? If you travel, it is worth it, then it's worth it. But what really sells it is the person in front of them. So once I realized that, I was just like, all right, I can do this. It's not too bad. Showtime, you know. It's like kind of like and something new every day. Get to enjoy my life and meet new people and something exciting. So I like it a lot.
For sure. Are you do you have the type of resort where you guys are kind of dressed down chill, or is it suit and tie every day?
Oh, suit and tie every day.
Okay.
Yeah, suit and tie every day. So 5 days of the week, suit and tie. 2 days, I get to be casual. So.
Got you. And that's something that you had to adjust to, or you already used to the suit and tie?
No, I had to adjust to that a lot.
You.
Yeah, I tried to get my brother to do it too, but he couldn't do the suit and tie thing.
Got you.
That was the biggest thing. The big hurdle for him was I can't do suit and tie. I can't do suit and tie. I'm like, all right, forget it then. You know, but once I got over that, it's like a uniform, right? So
for
go out
sure,
and put that uniform on and put on the show.
So you on a day line, front line?
Front line, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why it seems like frontline, dayline is always suit and tie, but the in-house be like a little bit more relaxed.
No, more casual, yeah. A little more casual. I
tried that suit and tie. It didn't work for me. Well, I was going to dayline first, but it didn't work out. They didn't. I was taking a vacation, and they was like, I can't miss a day, so that's how I ended up in-house. But you stay fresh. I mean, suits. I want to wear more suits. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. But that's what's up.
Yeah, no, I like the suit and tie thing, man. You get to feel good, dress good.
Yeah.
Why not? You know, so.
And I think they respect you a little bit more when you have on the suit and tie, right?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit more respect rather than just a collar shirt or polo or whatever the case may be.
I totally agree, yeah.
For sure. So let's get into the first topic about these special teams and how to get on these special teams. So at the resort that you're at, do they have special teams to where maybe if you're on this particular team, you get to see owner referrals, or if you're on this particular team, you get to see people that bought, let's say, like a travel package or a test drive package, and now they're coming back to the resort for the first time to use it. They have special teams like that?
Yeah, they have something like that where it's kind of like an exit plan,
okay.
You would say, after I'm done doing what I do, someone comes in and say, hey, would you like to try this, try that thing? And they do have a special line for that, but it's not easy to get on, so.
Got you.
So wait. So sort of like how, all right, so the exit team is the people who not buying, they buy like a trial package. Mm-hmm. But those people come back, and to be on that team, that's who you get to see?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's just on a corporate scale. So they don't actually come back to you in particular. So they'll come back. They could go back to North Carolina. They could go to see it in Hawaii. But overall, there is a particular line for that.
Got you. Now, do you feel like the sales reps that are on those special teams that get to see those special tours, do you feel like it's an advantage over a regular rep that's just getting whatever's coming in through the door?
Yeah, of
and
course.
Why you say that?
It's 50-50. Our chances of when someone new doesn't know anything about the product whatsoever and how it can help them travel, we got to build a dream. they get a chance to try the dream, then it's 50-50. Either you like it, you don't like it. It's kind of, the angle's a lot different.
For sure. And I would imagine if they bought one of those packages, they kind of already have money in the game, money in the deal, and they're able to use, let's just say they have some points left over or some weeks left over. They're able to use that, transfer that into a real ownership or whatever.
Like a strong takeaway,
For sure.
Why would you want to throw away that equity?
For sure. There you go.
You're not going to throw $1,200 to come back to Orlando, right?
He know the game. He know the game. Throw away the equity. I love that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So the question was, how do you get on those teams?
How do you get on those teams? I'm assuming you just have to just be selling your ass off.
Yeah, pretty much, man. It's the luck of the draw. Sometimes they have a line of people that are supposed to be there at that time, and they're not there, then you might actually get a chance to get that.
Yeah.
And then you get that opportunity, you have to sell it. You have to capitalize on it.
Got you.
You can't just let it fall to the waste, But it's hard to get on those lines, man, because, like I said, it's 50-50,
Yeah.
It could be a good one or it could be a bad one. You don't really know,
So either selling your ass off or not what you know, but who you know. You know what I'm saying? Now we talking about playing with the wheel. And is that where we going now?
I always say luck of the draw.
Okay, luck of the draw. Okay.
But I mean, some resorts have it set up where if you are at a certain closing percentage or a certain VPG, then you earn the right to get those tours, right?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, like, does your company have that, or is it just whoever they choose?
No, it's the luck of the draw. They have a line of people that actually see those tours. If they're busy with the people that they're on tour with, then you'll get a chance and opportunity, to actually see that tour.
That's what's up.
Now there's another special team also where there's some resorts that hold, like, let's just say, like, owner events, right? So they might invite the owners to a basketball game, a football game, or whatever event that's going on in the city or whatever the case may be. And they might wine and dine the owner, take them out for food or whatever the case may be. But part of that little event is you got to take a presentation. So that's like another team, a special team that you can be on. Does your resort does that also or not?
No, not in particular.
Okay.
Their marketing strategy is marketing kind of internal.
Yeah.
So whoever's already using it kind of thing. So they don't really have any, they already have the special events and all the other stuff already going. So
Got you. That's another thing that I like too. There's some resorts out there where you're just, let's say, touring the person at Walmart or the person that they met out at the outlet shopping or touring the person that they met at the car wash. But then there's some resorts that only tour internally. Like you have to be somewhat of the hotel member first, right? Before you take a presentation or something. Yeah, I like those. Those are good.
Yeah, those leads are a lot easier to kind of, the angle's a little easier, I would say, than somebody that comes off the street like Walmart,
For sure.
At some point, like I like to use a lot of the verbiage I use is kind of, you're already using it anyway. We want to show you a different way of using it.
Yeah.
Because you're already doing it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah.
Got you. All right, so then let's move right along. Let's go into the next topic. Owners that ask for the unthinkable, right? So have you ever had an owner at your table? Let's say you're showing him the package. Hey, this is a, $30,000 package and this is a $50,000 package. Which one will benefit you and your family? And he wants the $50,000 package for the $30,000 price. You know what I'm saying? Like they just want more for less. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever encountered that?
Yeah, but we can't fix price. We're not allowed to touch price. So price, it is what it is. Kind of offset it. Throw a little extra trips in there. Maybe give them a free family trip. Something that would have cost them $10,000 to $15,000, give it back to them. A lot of the angles I like to use is because we sell points. So if I give you 15,000 points and your package is 20,000, and you value that each point at $1, I basically pay for your package.
Yeah.
That's $15,000 worth of value when you only paid $5,000 basically for your package now.
Yeah.
So I kind of like offset it in that way.
Yeah, but if I'm so I hear you. But if this is a real presentation and I'm a real buyer and I say, hey, but Gino, man, look, I want 30,000 points. You got a deal right now. What's up? What you gonna say?
So I'll give them the extra 15,000 in points as a bonus. Throw them a little extra trip, things like that. As far as the price goes on the package itself, I can't fix the price. The price, it is what it is. That's how the company makes their money. That's what they set the price at. I can't change the price. But to try to offset it a little bit, I could throw an extra trip in there, something that's going to cost you maybe 15 to 20 grand. Now I'm going to give it to you for free on the house.
Got you. Okay. Now, what if I say, throw an extra trip in there. What you gonna say after that?
Well, it's gonna cost me a little bit of money, but I always say you gotta spend money to make money. So
Got you. Okay.
So I'll do the extra trip. Why not?
Word. So there's some resorts where the salesperson can actually put their own commission in and buy some of the
Exactly.
deal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never even heard of that. That gives you more leverage. You know what I'm saying? That's leverage to negotiate.
Yep, exactly. That's why I like it, because it does cost me a little bit of money, but like I said, you got to spend money to make money.
That's kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Where I've been is that wasn't, to answer that question, there are people who they want to stretch you, right? They think, okay, I got you to adjust the price. I'll do it if this. They're testing you. And then many times people say they'll do something if you do this, and then when you get it, they don't do it. Yeah. It's like getting a commitment. It's like, saying, what can you afford monthly? And I could do 500, and you'd be like, we ain't got nothing for that. Then when you do a drop and it's 500, we not today. So I think one of the strategies that I've used is, let's say, for instance, I know someone's going to try to haggle and say, I want a 3-bedroom. And I say, well, only thing we got is a 2-bedroom at this price. And when they say, I would do it if it was a 3, that's where I got them. Because I already knew it was a 3 to begin with. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But, I mean, that's dealing with bedrooms and not points. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that every owner, well, not every owner, but many of them will come with some nonsense trying to ask for the undoable. Yeah. But we got to know how to play the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people, like, maybe hold out on certain things. Like, if you have, like, you can give, but you hold out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't ever just flat out and say, hey, I'm going to give it to you. It's kind of my little thing I'm going to use on the back end.
Yeah, for sure.
To kind of, like, give myself a little leverage,
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Because they have, like, closing costs. Some resorts can waive closing costs. Mm-hmm. Some resorts can give a bonus week. Some resorts give a $500 voucher that really is nothing, right? Because you still got to pay. You know what I mean? So if you hold those things out, you can use those for negotiation tools when they're asking for this outlandish stuff.
Yeah, that's what I usually do too as well. Try to hold little things for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
So even if say for an example, a package is say 5,000 points, and I could give 5,000, I automatically would say I could give you 3,000, and I work with the extra 2,000.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a little,
Yeah,
for sure. Little angles, that's what I like about this.
Yeah. Some people just want to give it all away.
Some reps do give it all away, bro, and they shooting themselves in the foot, because then when you get to the back end and, let's say you got a family right there on edge, you don't have no tools or nothing in your back pocket to convince them, to throw on the table to sweeten up the deal.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Moving on to the next topic. Why does the maintenance and taxes continue to go up? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Taxes go up because property values go up. The HOA, the maintenance goes up when they're beautifying the resort. The more amenities that you see added that's free for you when you come here, that's the reason why it's going up. And we divide that cost amongst all the owners, so you're really not paying for it by yourself. We're coming together to beautify the resort so your family can enjoy it.
Right.
That's why it goes up. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use that angle too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Extra water fountains, little extra bike activities. Sometimes we have the golf resorts as well. That's complimentary for them. Mm-hmm. Little things like that, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like everything we got moved, so it doesn't really.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a resort that the fees is going up, but there's no value being added, that's a problem, right? But if you see things happening, sometimes people need to see the details of what goes into maintenance. So people don't think about the cost of the gardening and beautifying the flowers. And people don't think about
security
at
the front gate. Yeah,
keeping the place clean. They don't think about taking care of the units, right? They don't think about when it's time to paint and keep it fresh and to do the roofs over. Like, people don't think about those details because obviously they don't have to really focus on that themselves. That's one of the benefits of not having to be the homeowner or whatever, Yeah. That's the beauty of timeshare. We're sharing the cost. So I think if you was to go and put a price on every activity on the resort and give it a price tag, then add it up, if your family was to do all that stuff on there, you'll realize that value exceeds what you're paying in maintenance.
For sure.
Put me in front of family right now.
For sure. I like that. All right. Moving right along. What is ARDA and what do they do? Rich, you share with us what ARDA is.
Let me take y'all down to a story. I had no idea what ARDA was.
Yeah, I'm like,
What the fuck is ARDA? Yeah. So where I worked at, they had in our presentation we had a slide that talked about ARDA, and we say it and we say it and we say it. And it wasn't until I had become a trainer and the department that I was in, the training department, had won some awards at the ARDA convention. So my job or my goal was to ask around what is ARDA. So I'm gonna share some visuals with you. All right. So I think it's important that everyone that's listening and watching to know what ARDA is, and this is gonna help you with industry credibility. So ARDA brings together all these different resorts and exchange companies and hotel chains. And from my understanding, I'm gonna dumb it down to how I understand it. All right. I was fortunate to be a part of this award where we won the sales training department of the year, and I was among some other people, another lady who had won sales manager of the year, right? So basically, I want to look at it like this. People heard of like NAB, right? The National Association of Home Builders. That's for new construction. People heard of things like the National Association of Realtors. Like that is for realtors, right? That go by high code of ethics. ARDA is like the same thing, but for the resort and hotel industry. So they have like a code of ethics that all these different people have to follow. And if you go to their websites, and you can get details of the code of ethics and what they deal with and really understand what they do. So I had highlighted some things about them, but basically a code of ethics and certain standards. And one of the things that stood out to me is that you can't like sell the same unit twice, or, you know, not let people know that there's a rescission period, stuff like that. So they regulate that. So time sharing is a safe place for people. So, you know, there's always this bad word about timeshare, but these people advocate to make it good for the customers. So I think that the more that people would know that, they would be able to fight and say, no, timeshare is a good thing. So, and they have a bunch of graphics on their website to help people understand what timeshare is about, right? One of the slides that we had to say where I worked at was like, you know, there's over 20 million timeshare owners in the world. And it would say one of the main reasons why they purchased was, and it would give you, you know, like one is real estate. It's real estate ownership without the headache, because most resorts are deeded. And the other one was it's like investing in your lifestyle, investing in your vacations, because you're the one that's vacationing. So if you go to ARDA's website, they have a thing that says what we do. And it says that we stand up for timeshare, right? When an issue arises that affects the industry, ARDA is there. And when we see the opportunity to promote the growth and development of timeshare, that's what we do in that industry. So that's what they push. And one thing that when I went deeper, I realized that they also have this, like I said, inventory control and these things about the recession periods, though. So it's a protection for the people. So I
like that.
Yeah, it's pretty a big deal. But I did not know about it. You know, being a sales rep for, you know, even the 4 years that I was on the floor, didn't know what it was. Said it.
There's probably a lot of sales reps that don't know. Gino, before this,
I had no idea.
You had no idea.
That's a good angle right there. I like that.
For sure. So that's some good nuggets to know and to keep with you, because you never know when you need to, you know, bring that up on the table.
I agree.
Right. Because someone's gonna be like, I don't trust it, or I heard, and you may have to throw it. Like, I think sometimes it's just too much information. But if you have that person that's real skeptical, I believe that the industry credibility, that's where you can bring that up. Because people got burnt in timeshare before. You know, it was a wild west back in the day. You know,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the next topic. Let's say February 6th of 2024, RCI celebrates 50 years, their 50-year anniversary. So global leader in vacation ownership exchange, RCI is celebrating its 50th anniversary. RCI truly transformed the timeshare industry by becoming the first vacation exchange platform, and they're celebrating their exciting milestone. So I guess my question would be, RCI came before Interval International?
I think so.
What's the story about they were married and then they got a divorce? Is that fugazi or is that real? Or
I don't know. I've heard that too, but I don't know the details about it. I just know from what I remember, what I heard, company I worked at, they all used RCI in the beginning. It must have maybe it was the first exchange company. I'm not sure. It seems like they've been around for quite some time, right? You said over 50 years.
Yeah.
So where I was at, they've been around for 40 years. So they've been around before the company I worked at. However, they tell us that when they started using RCI, that people that was exchanging wasn't getting what was comparable
Yeah.
to what they own. Because RCI means Resort Condominium International, right? And so they had a lot of hotel conversions. So when someone buys at a resort, they expect to get a resort when they exchange, but they wasn't getting that. So they left that company and then went to Interval, which is all resort. So they said that RCI is the quantity exchange company and that Interval is the quality. You know what I mean? So that's how they sold me, and that's what I believe, right?
Gotcha.
So, but I know RCI had been around for a while because even when my parents owned their first weeks of timeshare, we used RCI to exchange to come to Florida. And that's how we got into Orange Lake and different resorts in Florida. So
Where would the timeshare company or the industry be without an exchange company?
that's a great question. It would be whack. You would be going to the same resort.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have the same selling power. I think many people probably buy just with the hopes of exchanging. But you know what's crazy? Most people don't exchange for whatever reason. You know, if you get a person that says, "Oh, where was your dream vacation and why haven't you gone there?" They just haven't. You know, and some people think the exchange don't work because they don't know how to do it. They'll wait to the last minute, or have unrealistic expectations. If I ask somebody if they say, "Man, RCI or Interval," either one doesn't work, and I ask them, "Well, how far in advance did you try to do that exchange?" And they tell me, "Well, a month ago, a month before we was trying to go." I mean, these people allow you to put in a request 2 years in advance. So, and that could be an objection that comes up because some people say, well, I don't plan that far in advance. You know what I'm saying? If I was renting a hotel, I wouldn't have to worry about planning that far in advance. But the cool thing about Interval International is that you can request first without giving up your week. So here's another thing about the two companies. RCI, you have to deposit your week first. So regardless, you deposit your week, you lose it. And if you can't get the exchange you want, you already lost it. Interval has a dual system. They have a deposit first and a request first. So if you request first, you can put that request in without even losing your week.
Oh.
Gotcha.
So those are little things that, product knowledge that can help save it or get a new deal if a person doesn't believe in exchange power. You know what I mean?
So, Gino, let me ask you this. Do you ever get a owner that you sold calling you back saying, "Hey, Gino, can you help me book this vacation?"
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, really? Okay. And do you actually help them book it or you direct them to the spot where they need to go or
Well,
whatever?
most of the time I help them book it because I know how to work the product in and out on the app. So I've always said anything you do, you got to learn your product first, right? So I learned how to work the app in and out. So when they call me and they need help booking, I always just let them know, you got to see it as the same way a hotel company would do it, right? They're not going to let you book to watch the ball drop 48 hours before the ball to drop. That's not going. You're not going to get that. That's impossible. So the same exact way you'll book with the hotel system, you have to use the system the same way. You can't think of it as something outlandish because you do have a kind of a better, how can I put this? You have better amenities and better quality of what you're traveling with, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna get it right away because you got that, So
For sure.
like everything else, just book in advance and try to make sure you have realistic timing of what you're really gonna do. Don't just throw it out there and just say if it sticks, it sticks. That's not how it works. It's the same exact thing with the hotel industry. You could possibly get something where you want to book 6 months in advance in a hotel, but like I said, any major event, anything that's going on in the city, you're not going to book 24 hours before because you're not going to get availability.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
you
gonna
tell
happen.
your guests that straight up, right?
I tell them straight up because it's the truth.
Got you.
There's no point of sugarcoating it, trying to beat around the bush of it.
Got you.
I feel it's the same exact thing. I believe timeshare works if you actually travel and you're actually using it. If you're going to travel and use it and book to these places where you really want to go to, then you can do it. It's very possible. It works. But don't try to do it 2 days before because that's not going to happen,
Exactly.
Everyone wants to go, so.
What's your take on reps that pitch heat? And do you need to pitch heat to sell?
I don't know. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff, but me personally, I feel like it works for people that if it's gonna work for you, if you're gonna use it, I don't feel comfortable selling to anyone that's not gonna use it. Someone that's gonna use it, I'll go passionately make sure that they're gonna buy it because I know they could use it. Someone that's not gonna really use it, I don't even really try to waste my time because, like I said, it deals with other things, backlashes, and people calling and unhappy, and I don't want to deal with things like that because what our product, what we sell, it is basically once they're sold, we don't have a rescission team. We are our own rescission team, so we are our own walk-in business.
Yeah.
So the same way I wouldn't want bad reviews about my own business, the same way I treat this, So I always tell people straight up, if you're not going to use this and you don't see yourself traveling and you don't have dreams of doing things, then don't do this. It wouldn't make sense.
For sure.
I like that you're hands-on with the people and helping them because a lot of people don't do that. They're not like that. And you've been at the same company since you started in the business, right?
Yeah.
What that tells me is that you probably pitch clean and there's nobody that's gonna try to run up on you when they come back.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And I think you from that environment where you understand, like
good at night. I always thought
exactly. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to sleep good at night, man. I don't want no bad intentions, no ill animosity. That's if they're not gonna use it, then I tell them. They always say this is a takeaway that I do. But I just feel like if you're not going to use this, don't buy this. Wouldn't make sense, You're like, yeah, but I want to go here, I want to do this, I want to do that. But if you're not going to do that, then don't do this, Like,
for sure.
You have to really set a plan and really put things in motion to really get things done, It's like everything else, you got a dream and you really have a real plan that you can follow through and it will happen.
Yeah.
But,
now, there's some resorts out there, for instance, let's just take a Blue Green, for example. With Blue Green, you're not allowed to give out your personal number to the families after they purchase. So you're not allowed to follow up with them. Now, if you are going to follow up with them, you have to do it from at the resort on the company phone, right? It's not like you can just text them from your phone or call them the next day or whatever the case may be. But going back to resorts that do allow you to get exchange phone numbers and things like that, there's a lot of reps that are scared to reach out to the owners, right? But they don't understand, like you said, like this is your business, this is your money. You know what I'm saying? If I could save a deal by making a phone call just to check in and make sure everything's cool, I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to sell them and say, oh, well, no, no, let's just wait and see what happened. Like, no, I want to know what's going on. Hey, guys, did you make it home? Is everything good? Listen, if you have any questions, give me a call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to, man. Somebody just spent $30,000 with you.
For sure.
Man, like, come on. At some point, you got to realize, like I come from New York, so spending $30,000 and even $1,500 down payment, you're like, you think twice about that, So you want to make sure people go home at ease,
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, so moving on to our next topic, we have the Mexican drug cartel made $40 million in timeshare resales. Let's see what this is. This is a U.S. news story. It says a Mexican drug cartel was so bold in operating frauds that target elderly Americans that the gang's operations pose as the U.S. Treasury Department. It says the scam was described by the department's Office of Foreign Asset Control. The agency has been chasing fraudsters using call centers controlled by the Jalisco drug cartel to promote fake offers to buy Americans' timeshare properties back. They have scammed at least 600 Americans out of about $40 million.
I just want to say for the record, I really love Mexico because I like tequila, and that's Jalisco.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Jalisco. Okay, there you go.
But damn, the cartel was what?
Yeah,
40 M's.
So this is my question to you guys, right? Is there a market for resale companies, and is it legit or not?
So that's a great question. I've met some people, but don't know the details about what the resale companies do. But we need to get them on the show because someone said that's. So, okay, why do people buy? When there's a need, right? When there's a problem to fix a problem. So people that buy timeshare, if they feel like they want to get out of it, now they have a problem, right? And those people are preying off the weak. They have a problem. So they're paying them to get out of it. Now the question is, do they really get out of it? Or do they take their money and run? So one thing that changed over the years, I remember when I first got my real estate license back in 2012, in the book, there was like a short paragraph about timeshare, really short, like small. Now, when you go into take the real estate class, it went from a paragraph to a page. And basically, pretty much that page is saying that there has to be specific language in any contract in a certain font, or was it the size of the font, letting people know about the maintenance and taxes and letting people know that it can fluctuate. And also, you cannot collect any money up front for the sale of a timeshare. So those people you're not supposed to pay up front. It has to be sold.
What do you mean you can't collect any money up front?
So you're not supposed to, so if you're doing it legit, you're not supposed to, I can't charge you $1,500 and then say, we're going to sell it. I have to sell it first or get the contract first.
Got you.
You know?
Got you.
So I think, again, speaking of the industry and ARDA and Florida and licensing, I think they're trying to protect people because people have been getting ripped off for years with resale companies, you know? And just the cartel just went in. I think across the nation, there are many people that want to get out and they just get caught up. I mean, on my phone right now, I'm scrolling through Instagram and there's timeshare exit popping up, you know? And I'm sure I'm afraid to click it. But I feel like people fall for that because they want to get out of it. And they end up paying money and it adds up, you know? Because, I mean, there's resorts across the U.S., right? So I don't know how that they set up shop but there's the people that want to get out of timeshare and they'll pay. If your pitch is believable, they're going to go for it.
Very true.
What you think, Gino? You came across a guest that said, you know, hey, I got scammed trying to sell my timeshare, or even came across a guest that said, yo, why would I buy yours when I can go online and buy a resale for, $100 or whatever?
I have dealt with that.
How do you respond to that?
Well, I always tell them, you never know what you're gonna get when you buy it on the outside. You're here at the resource. You're here, I can give you the best deal right here, right now. You don't know what that person maintenance was. You don't know what type of baggage that came with. You don't know what that person even did to even get that timeshare, right? So that person could have owed, say, $40,000 on maintenance, and you don't have no idea until you get that contract, and then they say, hey, you can't even use it because you owe us backlash on this, and that. So kind of use it in an advantage in a sense because, like I said, they can't really purchase it anyplace else but from the source because the resale value wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. For sure. Got you. So we got to get some of these timeshare resale people up here on the show, man, and just kind of
air it out.
See what's going on.
Because some people, not for nothing, they make good money. But I remember there was a year where a bunch of people were getting caught, shut down. I think people had resale companies going out of their garages. And I remember seeing different resale companies down the tourist street that we have here in Florida, 192. And they're all gone. But I think there's a lot of bad practices when it comes to that. And I wonder, how does that affect? So with these people, were they caught, or is it just letting us know that the cartel made over $40 million?
No, I think they were caught. For sure. Well, my question to you, Gino, is if I'm a family, I'm on your table right now, and I'm interested in buying. You got me sold, but one of my questions is, hey man, can I sell this down the line? What would your response be to me if I was to ask you that?
To sell it to who?
Just get rid of it down the line.
Like if you would just your property?
My timeshare.
Yeah, so it's real estate. So it's the same exact thing. You would give away your own property? Would you sell your own properties?
Yeah.
Well, it's entirely up to you if you want to do that.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's real estate, so you treat it as such. If you want to sell it, you can sell it. If you don't want to. My personal recommendation would be not to ever sell it because you pass it down from generation to generation to generation. It's not something where I always say we sell something money can't buy. We're selling memories. We're selling time. We're not selling something money could buy. So if you feel your family is not going to spend that time together and make memories with each other, then sell it. But for the most part, it's something money can't buy at all.
Got you. Got you. What's your relationship, or what's your take with the dance with the TO? Do you feel like you have a strong dance with your TO, or are you the type of rep that, yeah, like, yo, TO, get out the way, I got it myself?
Well, for the most part, it just depends on who's in front of you. You know, I always see it like that, you know. I always try to close my own tables, no matter what, because it's my money, it's my responsibility to make sure I put food on my table, you know. So, like I said, I don't really rely on the TO to do anything, unless kind of like a show face. Maybe a second face might help, because I might have been too hard on them. I want to rent versus own, you know, because my rent versus own is just...
Yeah, it's brutal,
yeah,
huh?
it's brutal, yeah. Because, you know, like I said, I see people spending money and wasting money on something that I didn't even know even existed. It's crazy to me, because without something like this, people wouldn't even obtain a lot of their dreams, a lot of their goals on traveling to different places. Because, you know, the classic line, you know, grandma's house on the weekends, that's really what I was going through, you know? Like, I didn't really travel as much. I came to Florida one time, and I was like 12, you know? So people from New York, we don't travel, you know? That doesn't happen. People constantly grinding, constantly working. It's like a hamster wheel, you know, doing the same thing over and over again. So I always see it as, if you're not going to travel, just don't do it. If you're going to travel, then you have to get with some type of program. You have to go with some type of program, whether it be my program or another program. You have to do a program, because if not, you're going to just waste money. You know, the hotel cost is going to keep going up. It's not going to go down, you know. So my reverence zone is kind of like just more logical. It just makes more sense to stop renting. The same reason why people want to own homes and not rent. It's the same exact concept. It's no different. But you have to travel. You know, that's the only way it works.
How long is your discovery?
I would say most of my presentation, honestly. I threw it throughout the whole entire presentation.
Damn, I've never heard a response like that before.
Yeah,
Most
that's
of my
true.
presentation is my discovery. That's hard.
You gotta use it as little bullets, you know,
For sure.
little information, you know. It's your first time in Orlando? No? Oh, so I know they come often, you know.
Yeah,
well, how
yeah.
often you come, you know? So, you know, now I know they're spending money guaranteed, you know. So it's little questions that I feel like throughout the whole entire presentation, you're just doing discovery. You know, you're just constantly asking these questions, constantly asking, you know, why, you know, what drives them to do that, you know, why does that make sense to them, you know. That's why I love doing this, because it's really on the psychological side, and a lot of people don't really understand, like, it's really, really, really like playing chess every day, you know, so I enjoy it a lot.
What's the most important step, I guess you would say, in the presentation?
I'll say commitment to travel. That's the most important thing. They got to be committed to travel. They got to be committed to spending time with their family. They got to have value in that. You know, they got to see, you know, even though most of the time you get like the dynamic between the husband and wife, the husband never wants to go anywhere, you know, so he'd rather be at home watching the game and stuff like that. So I feel like for the most part, he's there because of the family. He's there because he wants to build that memory with his family. You know, he wants to do things with his family. So I always commend people for traveling and being in front of me, but you got to take it to another level. You know, if you're going to really do this, do it big. You know, don't sit around and shortchange yourself and deal with the fact that you got to be, next year is $300 when it was $200, you know, so things like that. So, but for the most part, that's most of my families, I feel the most important thing is this discovery, honestly. I feel like that's really, really important. A lot of people like skip over that. I feel like that's really important, especially those questions and asking them the right way and knowing when to ask them. That's important too. Because people get turned off really easy too. So you put the guard up really quick and then you just lost out, you know? Like, it's all numbers, right? So you figure they give you 2 out of 10. You just don't know when the 2 is there. You don't know what's going to come in the first bunch or the last bunch. You don't know, but you got to make the best of all of them. So,
For sure. What would you say is the biggest misconception from timeshare?
that it doesn't work.
Sure.
That's the biggest thing I hear. You know, people always think, oh, this thing is not going to work. This thing never works. But it works if you're going to use it the right way. You know, you just got to use it the right way.
You meet a family in the lobby, and the first thing they say to you is, yo, Gino, look, man, I know you're probably a nice guy. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got a little time. We're going to go through the, you know, the hoorah or whatever, but I just want to let you know, I'm not buying nothing today.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind when they say that?
I always tell them the first thing I always say when people tell me that is that no one walked in here with any intention of purchasing the product, right?
Right.
No one walked in here with a credit card ID on their forehead. No one walked in here saying, hey, I want to buy this today. You know, you're just like every other family that walked in here. There's a reason why we do business every single day here. You know, it's not because we're here for, giggles and we want to play around and, we joke around. It's a business, so you got to treat it as such, So I always tell people, no one walks in here with any intention. I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to persuade you. I'm not here to do none of those things, You have to like it and love it and find it beneficial. And if you don't, then it's not a big deal. On to the next one, It's just the beauty about this timeshare thing, too. I love, so every day you get another tour. So, right next to the next one. So,
yeah. And every tour is different also because of the person that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very true, yeah. Yeah, you got to try to build commonality. There's so many different factors when you're doing the timeshare thing, Like I said, if you really want to take your time out to learn the craft and learn how to really steer people in the right direction and steer people in the direction that you want them to go in kind of thing, then timeshare is definitely a different way of opening your mind, trying to figure out different ways, different angles. And you're always going to meet different people. You're always going to see different things, different objections, different stories, But I always try to, like I said, during the discovery, it's little things you have to ask, like always ask where you coming from. They're coming from, say, South Carolina, or they came from Connecticut, or they came from Germany. You know that they spend money to be here. So that they flew or they drove here. That's important too. I feel like a lot of little things are very, very important. How long they lived in that place for. Because now you're gonna deal with the objection. Well, I'm buying a house and all those other. Next year I'm buying a house out of nowhere. So little objections, you kind of like try to cut them in half in a sense without really saying them in a sense, So I always ask them, how long you been living there for? And they go, 5, 6 years. Oh, you like it? Yeah, I like it. So you don't even plan on leaving at all, right? And then they go, yeah, I don't plan on going nowhere. I love it there, so I'm not gonna deal with buying a house. You know what I'm saying?
I never thought about that one. That's good. I like that.
I don't want to hear, I'm buying a house. You just told me you're not buying. You're not going nowhere. So.
Right. You got to close the door. Yeah, I see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, for the most part, that's how I kind of see it, So I kind of take little things from a lot of different reps. I sat down with a lot of big top reps. And it's like everything else, you got to just take your time and perfect the craft, Don't waste the time while you're there. If you're not on tour, just try to learn the product. Try to see different more angles. I'm the type of person, too, I'm not really like study. More 20 minutes, 15 minutes, little stuff stink in a little more that way for me, in a sense, I touch it just 10 minutes, 15 minutes and go back to it later, things like that.
Got you.
I like that.
If there's any new reps right now watching the show, you're thinking about getting involved, Gino, what advice would you give to anybody that's on the fence thinking about getting into the timeshare game?
Get in.
Word.
Because once you're in, you're not going to want to get out, trust me. Get in, get right in. I always say, you can't learn how to drive in a parked car. So you got to take the leap of faith, and the money's there. So, like I said, people definitely, they're going to travel. They're going to want to spend time with their family. And it's always good to know you're selling something that money can't buy. That's how I see it.
I like that. Well said. Just got to jump in. Somebody out there is thinking about it right now.
No, jump in.
Yeah.
Just jump in. Trust me. It's definitely worth it for sure.
That's what's up.
All right. So, Gino, before you get out of here, we got this segment of the podcast. Before everyone leaves, we shuffle these timeshare, these sold in 60 timeshare objection cards, which can be purchased where, Richard?
That's a great question. That could be purchased on, if you go to our Instagram page, Sold in 60, you hit the link in the bio, and there is a nice link where you can grab those cards. And like Gino said, you sharpen your tools. You don't have a family in front of you. That's when you sharpen your tools so that when you do have that family in front of you, you be really ready. I love what you said about that last objection, buying a house, because we see that coming up a lot. And some people, they just fumble on it and think that that's the end of it. No way of getting around it. But like you said, during discovery throughout the whole presentation, you can close those doors so they can't use it against you. So, yeah, those are things that you can do. If you get the Sold in 60 cards, you go to the Instagram, Sold in 60, click the link in the bio, and it's there. There are also some other things that you could use. We have the Back End Bully, which is a PDF talking about back end techniques. And for getting your head right, we have the affirmation cards as well, because, you speak things into existence. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So let's see. These are shuffled?
They already shuffled.
Okay, so G, you get to pick any card, and then you read it out.
I don't want to make a decision today.
That is so rare.
I don't want to make a decision today. How would you handle that?
Well, you are making a decision. You're telling me no.
Facts. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me you're not making a decision. You're making one. You're telling me no. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I always say, what's really stopping you? I always ask that question. Like, what's, aside of the money and aside from everything else, what's really stopping you from doing this today?
Mm.
And before I leave my table, I always ask, is there anything else I could have done to earn your business here today?
Yep.
Before I wrap up everything else, Because you're definitely going to get that a lot. I don't want to make a decision today, but I always tell you, you're making a decision already by saying no, you know? So that's already a choice you already made. Well, I'm not going to change your mind already because, like I told you, no one walks in here with any intention on purchasing the product. So you came in here already with a no, so you made that decision already before you walked to the door. So at that point, it just wasn't for you, So
Got you.
Yeah.
How would you handle it, Rich? What would you say? And piggybacking off of what Gino said, because he's right. Everything that he said is right.
I mean, they don't want to make a decision today. I would have touched that a few times before or throughout the presentation that you have to make a decision today. It's a yes or no. I'm teaching you the same either way. But I believe that the decision was already made. And the only decision you're trying to make, you should be making is, do I want to save money or continue losing money? Yep. So I'm not asking you for a decision of anything that's not going to benefit you. Just, the decision is based upon, do you want to continue to lose money, have nothing to show for it, or come with a solution that we came across? So I would just try to beat it up so they don't try to use that against me.
Yeah, I feel like this particular objection could be handled kind of in the beginning. When you're doing like an intent statement and stuff like that, when you let them know exactly what's going to happen, so you don't really get, I'm not making a decision today. You're really going to get no. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hear no. I don't want to hear I'm making a decision because for the door we spoke about that already. So I feel like this kind of, if you get this is. You kind of didn't do a good intent statement, I would say.
For sure.
You hit it right on the head, brother. Because some people get their family and do no intent statement and just, take them upstairs and they're afraid to get that static in the beginning, No. I think it's important to get that out. Yeah. So you know what you're up against.
I agree.
That's what's up. That was well said, man.
For sure. And to piggyback off y'all, if I can remember when I was in training class, they taught me there's really no decision to be made here today because you've already decided to travel, right? It's really just a choice of how do you want to spend this money. You want to continue to spend it, renting it, obviously. You want to spend it on the ownership side. You know what I'm saying?
That was lit.
And that's how you get sold in 60. Rich, you want to pay some bills real quick?
Yeah, man. This episode was actually sponsored by Factual Film Studio. Factual Film Studio is actually a podcast studio, but it's for different media that you can utilize if you have a business and you want to do a commercial, if you need to do headshots for business cards, or if you want to do a podcast like this one, you can contact Factual Film Studio. They're located at 8865 Commodity Circle, and they have an Instagram page, which we'll put on the screen. It's at Factual Films TV. That is our sponsor for today.
For sure. And shout out to Richdale School of
Real estate.
If you guys are looking to get your real estate license to become either a real estate agent or you're looking to get into the timeshare industry, please reach out to them. They'll take great care of you.
Yeah, man.
Gino, we appreciate you, boss.
Always appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me, too. Thank you, guys.
Nah, we appreciate you.
This platform is great, man.
That's what's up, man.
It's like we all do timeshare, but no one really knows about this at all. It's like it needs to get brought out to the world so people can really capitalize on traveling and capitalize on making some real money.
Right. I told Rich to change the show to $1 million worth of timeshare. For sure.
Word. So if you saw value in this show, please leave a comment below, share this page with someone, have them listen, tap in, because it's an organic growth that we have within the community, and we're dependent on you to spread the word.
For sure. And we out just like that.
Peace.